guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Taylor and I teach 3rd grade in Central California. Today, I'm going to be updating you on just what is going on in my district and life right now and how we are handling this COVID-19 chaos. Wednesday, March 18th was our last day, and it was an emotional one. It was so hard to say bye to my kids because they say April 14th will be going back, but really things just tend to be escalating, and so it's not a for sure thing. And it just breaks my heart that I might not see my 3rd graders again. This is my first year teaching 3rd grade, and I just love my students so much. And in 4th grade, they go on to a new school. I'm not ready to say bye to my kids. I even told them, like, hey, like, there's a chance we might not come back this year, but we're not going to talk about it because I'm just going to cry and I'm not ready for that. So we're not saying bye. We're saying see you later. So a little bit about my district. We are in a very small town in Central California. I promised them I wouldn't say the district, so just small town in Central California. It is a Title I school, and the population is very, well, just the fact, 99.7. I have to sneeze. There's 99.7% chance that I just sneezed. Anyway, the statistic is 99.7 or 0.3% of our kids are socioeconomically disadvantaged. So a lot of my kids don't have computers or tablets. They have their parents' phone, which I taught them how to download Google Classroom and stuff on their parents' phone, and most of them don't have internet. So moving into an online sort of teaching is just not going to be realistic, at least right now. And in our location, if they do get internet, you would normally have your parents to walk you through, hey, how do I do this app? How does this work? How does that work? But in most of my kiddos' households, they speak 2 different languages and they do not understand each other. Which brings me to the next point, that I am just worried about my kiddos. The biggest thing in the front of my head is I want my kiddos to be safe. I want them to communicate. You know, luckily a lot of them have brothers and sisters, so they are communicating with them. But it's just, I just worry. And it's hard not to. So I have to, you know, make sure that I'm not always thinking and worrying about that because there's nothing I can really do. And it's just gonna drive me crazy. With our dynamic, a big worry is just basic needs. I'm just really hoping their basic needs are met, and I know my other teachers feel the same way. And because they are in such poverty, we provide them breakfast, lunch, and most of them dinner if they stay in our after-school program. And all the schools in our district are open between 10:30 and 12:30. So they'll drive up for a grab and go. We hand them like a sack or 2, and that's for breakfast and lunch for each kid. And any kid, they don't have to go to our school. They just have to be between 2 and 18, I believe. So they just tell us how many kids. The kids have to be present in the vehicle, and then we grab their breakfast lunches for them. So thank goodness they have access to those meals. That definitely is a weight off my shoulders. We do have some kids that live about 10, 20 minutes away, and so I don't know if those ones are driving to get their meals. I certainly hope so. So we know that they're getting food. They just have to come to school, any school in our district, whichever one they're closest to. And for the most part, they have shelter of some sort, but I just worry about my kiddos. And because they can't log on to the internet, I can't check up on them. And some of them have. I opened Google Classroom and got them in, gave them their email address, password, classroom code, all that. I told them they can email me, message me on Classroom Dojo, Google Classroom, just anything. Reach out to me if you need anything at all. And I've heard from 5. So that's worrisome. And we're not technically supposed to be at school. So one of these days I might just stop by the grab and go because I'm in the neighborhood, even though I live 30, 40 minutes away. But I want to see my kiddos. I need to see that they're okay. Definitely hearing from the 5 of them like eased some tension in my heart of like, okay, you know, like I'm hearing from a couple of them, and those couple, man, they are loving Google Classroom. Let me tell you, just like, Miss Blair, day 1, doing my homework. Miss Blair, what questions do we have? Hey, this thing's so cool. How you doing, so-and-so? I'm just like, oh my goodness. But I'm just so happy to see them, you know, talking. And that last day, Wednesday, is the day I got them on Google Classroom. And it's ridiculous because just a month ago, I mentioned to a teacher, like, dang, it's already so far in the year. Next year, I want to get my kids on Google Classroom, like right away, and start assigning things that way before any of this happened. But then I'm like, oh, well, you know, the year's kind of almost over. I'll just not start it now and just do it for next year. Now, instead of doing it the last day of our school, I could have at least had a month or two under our belt. Granted, that does not help the internet problem or having a device to get on, but I might be hearing from more students, you know? But I'm so glad I did, whether they can or not, because as soon as I logged on and showed them, like, hey, we can chat to each other on here, they just lit up of just like, yay, I can talk to my friends and my classmates. And I'm just so glad that we did that and we had the experience together. That way they at least know it's there, you know, if they can find a way, download the app, do whatever, like there is a way. I don't know if that's necessarily worse or better for them. I hope it's better just knowing that it's there and they can access it if they didn't lose their email and code and stuff, but I don't know. Just trying to look at the bright side of, I know that eased them a little bit, and I just hope that it is a small town, so I'm hoping they're seeing each other around, like if they're just going to the grocery store or something like that. I'm not sure, but okay, sorry, moving on. So because most of them do not have access to internet or a device that may get the internet, we gave out packets. So these packets were like thick packets, and they had reading, math, art, and PE for every day. And not too difficult, like most of it was a review. We got it from a bigger district in our area that just kind of said like, hey, we have these if you want to use them, and then just transfer them over. And I went through it, it worked pretty well, but I did give lots of extra resources. So, and I did go through one of the days on my Instagram and kind of walked you through what that looked like. I don't know if I can get it on here or if it's really that important, but I also gave them supplemental ones. Like they were able to take home this book. This is their Your Turn practice book. We don't use it too much in class, so this was a great resource for them to just like, hey, go back to like week 1 or 2 and like practice that vocabulary, spelling, grammar, all that kind of stuff right in here. But the thing is, this is if they're reading on grade level, and I have about a third of my class reading at a kindergarten to first grade level. So this will not work. I did, however, give them little reading fluencies and worksheets because I did teach first grade for the last 2 years. So luckily I had those materials that we've been doing through small groups, so they are familiar with it. So I put those in their package as well, just saying like, hey, if you have this reading assignment and it's too hard for you, just read one of these and still answer the main question of like, what's the main idea, who are the main characters, whatever question it gives you, read this, then just apply the questions to that. Math, if the math is too difficult, which most of it was review, so I don't feel like they will, but if so, just like math facts, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, gave doubles, 3-digit addition, that kind of stuff. So they have options. My thing is, I don't want them to not understand something and then they just don't do anything, you know. Granted, because they are not on independent study or anything like that, this is all just kind of chaotic and last minute, they don't technically have to do it. We can't give them a grade for it. We are gonna check it when they give it back of like, okay, cool, they did it, you know, but there's nothing we can really do about it if they don't. And to be honest, as much I really, really want them to do it, but I care way more about if they're safe, they're eating, they're having good family time. Oh my gosh, if they would just have solid family time and grow a really strong bond, because I know a lot of these families need it. If that was their focus and they did not do any of the packet, I'm cool with that. I really am. Possibly are going to have a lot of gaps in their learning, but a lot of kids are right now. I mean, this is a very situation, but there is a lot of good that can come from it if we look for it. When I was leaving my parents' house, I was visiting them today, I saw at least 3 families just going on walks together. I saw kids playing out in their front yard, and I haven't seen that in forever since I was a kid. So I really hope that families take this time. Like, I know it is a huge interference or whatever with how you normally live your day-to-day life, but please see the good that can come from this. Do not let your kids hear that you don't want them home or that it's like causing problems, you know, because above anything else, I'm sure they are so excited to spend time with you. And yeah, I know that it can be difficult Trust me, I know, and I'm gonna create a video. However I can help, give you some strategies on what I think will help and give you an opportunity to reach out to me and ask questions and stuff. That will be in the next video. This one's just gonna be about kind of what we're doing and kind of my thoughts on the whole situation. So wrapping up, I do have all my materials because I'm gonna be putting those into Google Slides and kind of all that. That way if we do go into online teaching, because we get the resources we need, I am prepared with presentations, or just use them for next year because they do not hurt to have in class. They are very helpful. We are not online teaching at this time. We are doing paper packets. They do have access to Google Classroom, my email, Class Dojo, any of that if they have any questions. And I've only heard from 5 of my students, but I hope they're okay. They're providing breakfast and lunch for them through our grab and go kind of system thing, and we can't grade them on their packets. But I just really hope they're okay and they're having a good time being home with their family and their family bonding. So that is about it on my end. Like I said, I'm going to be making a video following this one that will go into more advice, tips, strategies, stuff like that to help you parents or caretakers, give you some ideas. Thank you for listening and catching up with me. I hope you are all doing well. Please comment down below. Tell me how you're doing. If you have any questions, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you shortly.